So this fact tends to surprise people, but I don't always know what the event is before I show up. It's a need-to-know thing, and if the check clears, that's kind of all I need to know. And honestly, sometimes these gigs involve very big celebrities and NDAs, and the client usually appreciates it when you're professional. Stick to the logistics and don't ask too many questions. In fact, I beat out another time machine owner for this event specifically because he did not do that. Professionalism is of the utmost importance when you're talking about million-dollar events. So I had no idea this was a cybersecurity conference until I arrived, nor did I know there was a very special guest to close the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the iconic Christopher Lloyd! It is so exciting to have you here.
Wait and see.
Well, okay. Right now, it's so exciting to have you here. But honestly, I think anticipation has been building all week. I can't imagine.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
I can't imagine how many folks here grew up on the Back to the Future series and.
They'll say, thanks for my childhood. You know? So many, and then go on to say they became, got into electronics, engineering, medicine, inspired by a movie, and that's kind of an experience, and it goes on. I mean, I get told, parents say, my kid's 7 years old, and we finally let him see Back to the Future 1. And now he's a fanatic about it. And okay, that's great, but it has affected people in a way that you don't normally get, and in a positive way, so that's great.
Steve, is this my mark?
So that's why we were hired. A pretty legendary photo op for some VIPs after the conference.
How are you, sir? Nice to meet you. I'm Steve. We're going to kind of roll people in here. Hey there. Thank you.
Now, I personally spent time with Mr. Lloyd on several occasions, with two of the most memorable being him sitting in this very car on the Ready Player One red carpet, which was featured in Fastest DeLorean Part 2 on Amazon, and of course hanging out with him and some of the cast backstage at the Hollywood Bowl, while Don told him about GolfCon.
There's one hole, it's the Back to the Future hole. You hit the ball, and you'll either get a bad shot and wind up in 1985, or you'll get a good shot, and it'll go all the way down, and it'll hit the DeLorean, and it'll roll down and roll the ball into the hole.
It is a memory that tops the surreal list of my life. You can see that whole bit in the official Journey Volume 2, also on Amazon. So I had no personal motivation to try and meet him again, especially in a situation like this where his time is in demand. Also, as I mentioned before, professionalism matters, and that's specifically how we've maintained our standing in this arena for nearly 10 years as a company. But there's one thing that is very, very different right now. You're with me. You're sitting with a headset on, and it already feels like you're here, and if you haven't had the experiences I have, you really, really want me to find a way to walk up to him and take a picture. So I couldn't let that opportunity pass with what could very well be the only time it's ever possible with this equipment.
Okay.
So hold your breath.
You with these guys?
Yeah, on one of the gaps, I'm going to go up with the VR camera, and then we're going to turn and take a
Are you with
picture.
Siberia?
What's that?
Are you with Siberia?
That's my car.
Oh, that's your car. Okay. So like right now,
Yeah,
you want to do it real
perfect.
fast? Let him just do one little thing for us.
You're in VR, sir.
All right.
Great.
Thanks, everybody. Exhale. Okay, we need to talk. What you just experienced is a sea change in how we communicate real life to each other as humans, and I have spent over 30 short films trying to prove that. And now I need your help. You need to show this to people. We need the people hosting this stuff to highlight it. We need to cement everything possible in this format as soon as we can. I mean, that's a goddamn national treasure in front of you who turns 85 this fall, and it took an overwhelming stroke of luck for this to even happen. Why? Because it's impossible to even explain what VR 180 is, because even people with headsets don't know it can do this. The landscape is also filled with low-quality 360 videos, but that's another issue for another day. Oh, and one more fun thing. Say this out loud at the end of the countdown. They just greenlit Back to the Future 4.
All right.
Ah, that's so fun.
Look over here, please. There we go. Okay, now it's...
And he makes fun of my picture. All right, now we're done. Now we all know we're done. All right, we are good. Thank you.
So there it is. The surprise I had no idea about. And here's hoping it can be a catalyst to push this medium into a different light. Because if you were watching this in 8K 60 in a VR headset, you know you just experienced the future. Now please go tell people.